Today I'd like to talk to you about personal protective equipment in a welding shop. We've got many items here on the table that we use every day in a welding shop to keep ourselves from being hurt or burnt. First off, I'd like to talk about footwear. It's important to wear a boot, whether it's a leather boot. Most people use steel toe boots. These boots are steel toed. Notice they have no laces. A lot of welders like to have boots that don't have laces that burn up. And if you do have laces, a lot of times we will use leather lacing to keep from burning up our laces in the shoes. Okay? Next, I would like to talk to you about coats. Anytime we're working in a welding shop, the number one thing we want to do is protect our skin at all times. Whether it's our face, our arms, most of the time, anybody you see welding is going to have a long sleeve shirt on. I have a welding jacket on. There are many different types of welding jackets. You know we work in hot, warm, cold temperatures. This leather jacket right here is a little bit cooler. It's got leather sleeves that we could use for welding out of position, but yet we could stay a little bit cooler. Okay? Next we have a welding jacket that is used to either MIG weld with in the flat position or arc weld, but a lot of TIG welders, tungsten inert gas welders, use this type of a jacket. It's fire retardant, it's light. We could actually wear a light shirt underneath this and we wouldn't sweat as bad. Next, I'd like to talk about headgear, or things that we use to protect our head while we're welding. A lot of people like to use a welder's cap. They come in many different colors and varieties. You can buy them at local welding stores. A lot of welding distributors like to give you a welding beanie or a small hat. This helps protect our head from sparks when we're either cutting or welding. Okay? Next, I'd like to talk about safety glasses or face gear. This is a standard pair of safety glasses that can be worn over top of regular glasses or just used to protect our eyes. Anytime we work in a welding shop, we definitely want to have safety glasses on to protect our eyes. Another type of face shield that we could use when we're cutting or grinding, this clear face shield here will protect our whole face. If we're doing a lot of prolonged grinding or using a wire wheel such as what's on this grinder right here, we may want to use a face shield just to give us some extra protection. Even though we have safety glasses on, we want to protect our face. This dark face shield here is used for cutting with a cutting torch or possibly a plasma cutter. This face shield comes in a number 5 or number 6 shade for cutting. Okay, that's a number 5 or a number 6. This protects our eyes and our face while we are cutting. They do make a pair of dark safety glasses for cutting, but I seriously recommend to use a face shield to protect your complete face from the sparks while we're cutting. I'm going to pause.
Real good, Mike.
I need to get my welding helmet.
Okay,
Couple
sorry.
welding helmets too.
That's okay. I'm just going to let this sucker roll.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That way it won't move or shake. I can just cut all this right out of it.
Yep.
I'm going to take a different angle this time.
Okay, next I'd like to talk about welding helmets. Welding helmets come in various shapes, colors, I guess. Today, a lot of welders can spend in excess of $300 for a welding hood. This is a standard welding hood which uses a shade 10 lens. Okay, this has got a flip-up shield that we can use. A lot of people, this protects your face, so if you're grinding out a weld, you can flip your lens up instead of picking up your hood. This will protect your face while you're grinding, whether we're using a wire wheel or a grinding disc. A lot of people prefer this type of hood. That is a shade 10 lens in this hood. Normally we're going to weld with a 9 to an 11 shade in our hood, depending on the type of welding that we're going to be doing. This wood here it's got what's called a quick change lens in it. This is a little bit more expensive. Like I said, this we can change from a 6 to an 11 in our shield in the color. Okay, this will protect our eyes whether we're grinding or cutting, and when we quit welding, it flashes back to just a light green when you're looking through it, so you can see through it when you don't even have to pick your hood up. So these are called a quick change hood. Next, I would like to talk a little bit about the different types of welding gloves that we use. This is a standard pair of heavy welding gloves that we would use if we are arc welding or oxy-fuel cutting, or maybe even MIG welding. These gloves here are a little bit lighter if we need to do light gauge material handling, or if we're working TIG welding. A lot of welders like to use these gloves. They're a lot thinner, and obviously they won't withstand as much heat as what these will. They will protect your hands, but you're going to be using these on lighter gauge materials and lower amperage welding. Many job sites that you work on, you will have to wear a hard hat. Okay, they do make hard hats that actually have welding shields on them. There are some jobs out there that make you wear a hard hat at all times. Some job sites allow you to take your hard hat off and put your welding hood on while you're welding. But there are many manufacturers out there, while you're welding in their shops, you've got an actual hood that would mount over top of this or be integrated right into your hard hat so that your head is protected at all times. These hard hats come in many different colors. This one here is just a standard hard hat that you could use for general purpose. This is a basic overview of what we use every day in a welding shop. The main thing that we want to do is protect our skin from infrared and ultraviolet rays while we're in a welding shop. Another thing that we use is a welding screen, such as this one back here. While we're working, it is our responsibility to protect the people that are around us from the harmful rays while we're welding. So whether it's this type of a canvas welding shield that's fire retardant, like I said, we need to put this around the area that we're working to protect individuals that may be in the area that we're working in from the harmful rays from arc welding, or whether we're MIG welding or TIG welding. They can burn your eyes just like your skin gets burned. You do not want to get your eyes burnt. That's why we have all these items here to protect not only our skin, our face, and our eyes at all times while we're working in a welding shop. And that is a basic overview of things that we use every day in a welding shop here at GSD Bosse's.
Fantastic, man. You're a pro at that. That's real good, Mike. Real good. Okay, so I'm going to, just for the sake of grins, I'm going to send that out to YouTube. Oh, I can't send it out to YouTube. Not from here anyway.
Why is that? They have a restrictor or something?
Yeah, that video I just shot was over 1 gigabyte, so when I get in and chop it up and convert it to WMV, let me just knock that down.